Hello and welcome. Today we'll take a look at the new Halloween event, also known as the Submarine event. I know, Wargaming has told us long ago that they will never add submarines into the game. But yet here we are, and I think that this is a positive thing. I have seen some people be kind of negative about it, but I think it's entirely positive because it shows that Wargaming is willing to try out new things and figure out solutions to problems that they, well, couldn't figure out before. So, in this mission, you play as a submarine, and you try to do a bunch of missions. Your primary task is to banish Rasputin, basically just sink the ship, and that's actually a really easy part of the mission. In this mission, you act as a submarine, and how does a submarine behave? Well, she's actually fast for what I expected, but maybe this is simply the Halloween mode. You can use the C and F key to go deeper into the water or go above, and when you dive underwater, your concealment range gets lower. It's 3.1 kilometers on the ship, 6.3 without diving lower. And you have two types of weaponry, two types of torpedoes. You also have secondaries on this one, but I don't think they're very useful or good. By the way, notice how I went for the second and third of the Zikazas instead of the first one, because usually my teammates will go for the first one. So if I sink the second and third one, we will move on from this stage slightly quicker. So you have two types of torpedoes. In the second slot you have torpedoes that are faster, but they deal less damage, but they also have a stun on them, or a lockdown, or I don't know how to call it. Basically, if a ship gets hit by it, they get an icon on top of it, and their guns shut down, and they stop moving as well. They basically slow down. It's like the ship basically stops playing. And the torpedo number one, it's a slower torpedo, but it hits much harder. So basically the idea is that you stun some ship with the second torpedo and then fire the first torpedo, right? By the way, these ballistas and catapults, they are quite dangerous at times, because if you dive underwater and stuff, they fire depth charges at you, and those can deal a lot of damage, especially if you take one head on. But usually they tend to miss, so it's not that big of a deal. But they can't spot you on their own, a ship has to spot you. Okay, so I got within 6.3 kilometers of that cruiser, so she spotted me, but then I dove underwater, and now my concealment range is 3.1 kilometers. And when I do this, my torpedo indicator gets more accurate, so the torpedoes are more accurate. So right now there's a cruiser here, we're gonna sink this one, then a battleship spawns over there, then we're gonna sink that one. On the Barracuda it takes one torpedo from number 2 and one from number 1 to sink at Zikasa, but on the Scarab it takes 3 torpedoes. By the way, notice one other thing. The torpedo reload actually acts as though they are charges. So I can fire a torpedo on number 2 and number 1 right now, despite the fact that it's on cooldown. So it's not like torpedoes on other types of ships. So both of my number 2 torpedoes are reloaded. So my reload isn't going on. Now it started, it's 38 seconds, but I could fire another one on the number 2 one. The blue one is the number 2 one, it's the stun one. And look, it'll stun right here. See, you can see that half moon icon. And now I fired my number 2 torpedo again. The number 1 torpedo will be up again shortly. And, well, once I turn properly. That should finish her off. And now let's dive under the ship because it looks amazing. I mean, look at this. This just looks so good. The visuals are amazing on this part. I mean, the ship slowly sinks, and I guess it's slightly faster than slowly. And here's to show what happens when a ship hits you while sinking. I'm sure some people would be interested in that. And basically, it simply just drains your oxygen bar really quickly. By the way, if you're wondering, it's okay to let the oxygen bar run out. You can basically dive completely underwater, down to 160 meters, which is the maximum depth, at least on the ship. And if you do that, it's okay even once you run out of oxygen. Like you see the oxygen bar is next to the F and C buttons, the green one. You can have that run out completely and it's okay. All that happens is that the submarine will automatically start surfacing. It doesn't deal any damage, it doesn't have any negative effects other than that. So you should take advantage of that. Because this severely, or not severely, this drastically increases the amount of time you can stay underwater. Okay, look, so we stunned the Leviathan and you can see that she's gonna start slowing down now. And she won't be active, despite the fact that I'm detected she doesn't actually fire. I'm still gonna go slightly lower and you'll see that my oxygen bar will run out in a moment. It's 3 seconds, 2, 1, and it's out, and now the ship will start surfacing. Emergency blow. Okay. By the way, in terms of captain skills, I would recommend these 4 skills, definitely. So, I think Torpedo Acceleration is an absolute must. You also want Torpedo Armament Expertise, you want Adrenaline Rush, and then you want Last Stand, because sometimes when you get hit, it breaks your rudder or engines, and you might need those things, so it's just less annoying. And it's not like all the other skills are very useful anyway. Torpedo Armament Expertise, because all of your weaponry are torpedoes. Is this gonna hit? Nope. Too bad. Was quite close though. And the reason why I take Torpedo Acceleration is that you just want faster torpedoes. Because you have 8km torpedo range. With Torpedo Acceleration, that's 6.4 kilometers. You don't really need range because this is a timed attack. You can see one of the secondary tasks is to discover the location of the Black Lair Castle. That's the icon in the top right corner that you can see. That's also where Rasputin is. So you want to get to that spot before the timer runs out. From my experience though, the hardest part of this mission is the spot the enemy's onshore gun mounts, because what often happens is that Rasputin is so weak that once we get to this spot we are right now, somebody will start focusing on Rasputin immediately, and Rasputin will go down before we are able to spot all of the onshore gun mounts. In fact, out of my last 4 matches, well, last 4 matches before a match I just played, I don't remember how that one went, but out of those 4 matches, 3 of those were 4-star results because somebody killed Rasputin before we could find all the onshore batteries. And all of the onshore batteries aren't always in the same place. Some of them are in slightly different places, at least I think so, because they are in like specific places, but they aren't in all the same places every time. Like all of the ones you can see right now, that's mostly where they are. But there should be at least one onshore gun mount at the northern island that's straight ahead from me. Basically, I'm heading in that direction because of that. The 2 points I pinged on a map, that's where onshore batteries could be. And since we need 2 of them, you know, it might be one is in one place and the other is in the other. But the main focus right now for that Seelöwe is to discover the Black Lair Castle, because there's only 3 minutes to go and it can be quite close. But we need to make sure we don't actually kill Rasputin. By the way, once you discover the location of the Black Lair Castle, Rasputin stops healing. Okay, so you saw where the gun batteries are. We got the last 2, and those are in those corners. But they don't always have to be in those positions. They can be in slightly different positions too. But now that we got that one, this should be fairly easy. Like, I don't think I need to do anything at this point. But look at that. You can see the ship from below, and see, that's a depth charge. It's gonna explode, but it's kind of far away, so it won't do anything to me really. Here's some more. Hey, look, it's a big ship above me. You know, at this point we basically won this match, because actually finishing off Rasputin is very, very easy. And we have all the other missions basically done. Oh, that's a depth charge again. There's another one. But that exploded way too early. But it still caused me a fire and flooding, so That would deal a lot of damage, right? Over time. Especially since even right now it took me a while to realize that that's what happened to me. Okay, my oxygen is gonna run out in a moment, so that's when emergency blow will happen. The Rasputin is to my side. It'll take me a while to get to the surface, so I probably won't have to deal with this octopus that's in front of me. Although you can be torpedoed unless you actually dive below the torpedoes. And those torpedoes can hit quite hard, and same goes for AP shells from the battleships or HE shells from... Although I don't know if they actually fire HE shells at you. But yeah, at this point, we only need to save 3 of our submarines and kill Rasputin, so... Considering we still have 5 ships left, it's gonna probably be fairly easy. Especially since Rasputin doesn't heal, because we spotted Black Castle Lair or whatever it's called. And basically one ship can just chain stun Rasputin over and over. And there is very little Rasputin can do, or like all the other ships have to do something about it. And this is why killing Rasputin is so easy, because you can just chain stun and Rasputin doesn't do anything. She just floods to death basically. And, you know, that's just one ship. If you have multiple, it's even better. Well, she's down to 74,000 HP. Should be an easy finish now. Especially once torpedoes from other ships start running or coming in, but I suppose maybe... Okay, there's one. And yeah. Like, basically, she's gonna just sit here and stand still because she's gonna be chain stunned. By the way, one thing that I noticed is that, or I heard is that some people said that it's possible to spam the C and F keys to basically fire your secondaries. Wow, my secondary started a fire on the octopus and the fire killed the octopus. And there's the finish. So what some people said is that when you spam the C and F keys, you can be in submerged depth, but your secondary still fire. I haven't actually tried it, but that's what I heard. And on the Barracuda, that's might be useful. And there's the game, and it should be a 5-star finish. But man, the underwater stuff just looks so nice. I don't know how it'll look on a YouTube video, but like playing it just looks so good. 467,000 damage, why not? I sunk 9 of the opponent's ships, but 467,000 damage, good. And I also got my sailor because I got 5 stars and 2623 base XP. I am satisfied with that. I'm gonna compliment everyone for good manners because they actually tried to get 5 stars rather than well, just kill Rasputin as quickly as possible. Okay, back to port. And here's the XP stuff too. Wait, what? Oh! Wow. Somebody sent me a really heartfelt message apparently in port. Well, it seems that they're quite mad. So what would be the most annoying thing I could respond? And that's what I came up with. I don't actually know them, by the way. I have no idea who they are. I actually checked all of my replays. I searched for the names, and out of the thousands of matches I have played, I have never got them on my team. So I have absolutely no clue who they are. But apparently I angered them slightly. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, Ikaros, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.